Hey y'all, welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my doll wish list. And when I say that, I do mean specifically dolls that aren't in production anymore. Like, for example, I would love to get a second Monster High Gen 3 Laguna Basic doll because, like, I would just like to have a couple extras to redress and customize a little bit. But she's not included on this list because she's still available on shelves. So I'm really only looking at dolls that I would have to go to secondhand markets to buy. That's kind of the doll wish list that I have, because at this point in my life, I'm very grateful to be at a point where, generally speaking, as dolls come out, I'm able to buy the ones that I want before they disappear from shelves. So my doll wish list is more me trying to play catch up for all of the dolls whose releases I missed and that I still would like to buy. So I did do a poll on my community tab asking which part you guys wanted first, because looking through my whole wish list, I realized that I have like a whole ton of old Barbies that I want, and then I have like a shorter list of all of the other kind of brands mixed together of dolls that I want. And so I wanted to do videos for both, but I realized I just had so many overall that I was going to have to separate it, or else it would be a super long video. And so you guys said that you wanted to see all of the non-Barbie brands first, so that is what we are going to be doing today. As always, if you guys find yourself enjoying the video, if you could give it a like, that's very helpful to me. And if you're new here and you enjoy your time, definitely subscribe so you can see more. I also would love to hear what like your doll wish lists are down in the comments. That might be a dangerous game that I'm playing, because I'm sure that some of you guys are going to make me want other dolls that I'll have to then add to this list, but it'll be fun to talk about. So yeah, I would love to hear what your doll wish list consists of, but let's go ahead and dive into all the dolls that I want to buy. So we are starting off with a fairly new one, actually. This one is the Disney Designer Collection Aurora doll, limited edition Disney doll from 2022, I believe. I want to say that's when she came out, 2021 or 2022. And like I said, this is a more recent release that, technically speaking, I could have gotten when she came out, and I just didn't, because Disney limited edition dolls do tend to be a bit on the pricey side, and so I kind of wavered, didn't end up buying her. And now I kind of regret that, and I do wish that I had bought her. I did like a whole video talking about this entire series that Disney put out, and the Aurora doll, not the Briar Rose, but the Aurora proper doll, is definitely my favorite one. I just think that her dress is so pretty. She looks relatively simple compared to some of the other designs, and I don't know what it is, but I just really like Sleeping Beauty, so I already was kind of destined to like this doll a little bit more. So I do regret not getting her, and she is kind of on my wish list. Thankfully, the secondhand market for her hasn't exploded too bad. She's not too terribly expensive, but she is still out of my budget right now, so this is kind of just one of those, one day I would like to purchase this doll. Okay, then we are getting into the two Bratz dolls that I want to mention. I will say, as a caveat here, there are so many more Bratz dolls that I would want to buy, but the Bratz secondhand market specifically is so unbelievably overblown and so expensive that it's just not even realistic. It's not even something that I will let myself entertain, because I'm not paying $500 for a Bratz doll, you know? So most of the Bratz dolls that I want, I've kind of just written off as dolls that I'm not going to get to have unless they make reproductions of them, because they're so expensive. But there are two that I wanted to highlight. The first is the Bratz Treasures Chloe doll. I remember having most of this doll as a kid. I don't think that I had her brand new, because I don't remember my parents ever letting me buy a brand new Bratz. I bought a bunch of Bratz at yard sales and stuff, but I don't remember ever getting a brand new Bratz. So I don't think that I had the whole doll, but I know I had, her one outfit specifically, and I had her little treasure chest, and I would love to have her again because it's, a fun childhood memory for me. And also, I just think that the Bratz Treasures line is a really, really cool design. Chloe here is the one that I would prioritize the most because, again, she's the one that I had as a kid, but I do like the rest of the line. I think that Sasha looks really good. So if they did reproductions, I would also want at least Sasha and maybe a few more. But in terms of looking on the secondhand market, because again, the Bratz secondhand market is so expensive, we're limiting myself a little bit, and so I would want to get Chloe from the Treasures line. The other Bratz that I have on this list is also a Chloe doll, and she's more far-fetched. This is more if I ever get just unbelievably lucky and find this doll at a secondhand toy shop or a yard sale or a flea market or anything like that, I would love to have Live in Concerts Chloe, but that is definitely a line that is super expensive secondhand. So I would never be able to find this doll on eBay. There's absolutely no way. She's definitely a far-reaching, like, fever dream type doll that's on this list. I don't think that I will ever get to own her, but I do think she's really cool, and so I did want to mention her. But she probably leans more into most of the other Bratz dolls that I want, that it's like, I should stop thinking about her, because it's probably never gonna happen. But she's pretty, so she's included on this list, even though it's probably not something that I can ever actually achieve unless I just have a really lucky day. Okay, then next up I have two LOL dolls. The first one is Shadow. I just think that this is such a cool doll. I think she originally came in like a big family pack, so there were a lot of like tots and pets and everything that she came with. And then I believe she also had a release that was just her. But I think she came out slightly before I started collecting dolls at all again, and she definitely came out before I kind of came around to liking OMGs. So she's one that I wasn't able to purchase in any sort of retail setting. I do think that her design is just so fun and different. I love the veil attached to the hat. I think that is so, so cool. She just has a very unique design to me, and I'm really drawn to it. So I would love to get Shadow secondhand eventually. And then the other one is Punk Girl. To be fair, I don't actually know if her, and I think it's Rocker Boy that she comes with, I don't know if they're actually still available, but the reason that I didn't buy them together and that I'm looking for her in like a secondhand capacity is because I really don't want the boy OMG. He's okay, but I don't feel nearly as strongly about him as I do about Punk Girl. I think that she looks really cool. Her hairstyle is so unique. I love the skirt. I love the jacket. Like, again, she's just a very striking doll. I feel like most OMGs have very striking designs, but I'm really, really drawn to this one. So I didn't buy the whole pack because I didn't want the pack. And I don't even honestly know when the pack came out if I liked the way that Punk Girl looked, but she's definitely grown on me over time. So she's one that I would like to get just by herself instead of having to get both, and I would really love to add her to the collection. Okay, and that brings us to the last brand, which is Monster High. I really have a lot fewer of like all of these other brands than I have Barbie. I think I literally have twice as many dolls to go over in the Barbie video as I do in this video. But we are in Monster High, which is going to be the biggest brand from this video, which I feel like probably isn't surprising if you guys have been here for a while. So starting off, Monster High, Ghouls Rule, Claudine. Wow, she's so cool. She's so pretty. I like kind of have come around to Claudine way too late. If you guys saw my Monster High ranking series that I did for all of the Gen 1 and Gen 2 dolls, it was only when I looked back as an adult and ranked all of the Claudine dolls that I realized she's got some really, really cool designs. As a teenager, I just like wasn't with the program and I didn't really like her designs, and it's a shame because I really wish that I could have bought some of her dolls like for retail price or like, you know, brand new in box off the shelf, and now I'm sitting here as an adult like, I should have known better. I should have came around to Claudine sooner because she looks so cool. And Ghouls Rule is probably one of my favorites. I think Dot Under the Dance is probably my actual top favorite G1 Claudine doll, and I already have her. Very excited that I got to find her in a secondhand toy store. So now Ghouls Rule is one of the top ones that I want. This hair is so cool and so unique. The makeup, like the eye makeup, is so, so pretty. The whole silhouette is just very fun and interesting and very Claudine to me. So I really, really love her. She's one of two Claudines on this list, and I can't decide which one I like more. Like, they're both just so good, but definitely a lot of love for Ghouls Rule Claudine. Okay, then we have one that is like another one that I probably will never get to own because she's just so expensive. And like, even though I really like her, it's kind of hard for me with secondhand dolls because I want them, but when the price gets so overinflated, it's very hard for me to justify the price. So this one is Music Class Cleo, who had absolutely no right to go this hard. She is a G2 doll, and those were kind of hit or miss, but this one was absolutely a hit. She just looks amazing. Like, the hair, I love the gold strands and her bangs. She's got this super cool harp that she comes with. Her shoes are amazing. The only downside is she doesn't have the arm articulation, but like, she's still such a pretty doll and such a cool doll. And obviously a lot of other people feel that way too because she's so expensive on the secondhand market. Like, she's so much more expensive than I feel like most G2 dolls ended up being. She does look really, really great, so I get it. It is frustrating for me though because that means that I probably will never get to own her. She's just so expensive, and so she's so pretty, but I don't know if it's ever gonna happen. I would love to find just a really good deal on her someday. I think that'd be really cool because she's a gorgeous doll, but she's kind of another one that's pretty far-fetched. Alrighty, next up for Monster High is Haunted Rochelle. I don't even know what to say. She's such a beautiful doll. Like, she's just so pretty. I feel like the colors are absolutely amazing. And just the simplicity of her dress and the elegance of her dress, I'm shocked by. Like, every time I see her, I'm shocked by her. I have no idea what video it was in, but at some point on this channel, I have talked about how the kind of more basic haunted dolls, they all have this almost mask-like makeup behind their eyes, and sometimes I really dislike it, and sometimes I really like it. And Rochelle, I think, does it best because that blue behind her eyes just really makes the pink pop, and like her eyes are just so in your face and so beautiful. I love this doll. She's expensive, but all secondhand Monster High dolls are expensive. It's just kind of a matter of how bad is it. But I know she's not the most, budget-friendly one on this list. I still would love to be able to own her someday because she's just absolutely stunning. Alrighty, then we have Shriek-Wrecked Laguna. This is a great Laguna. I had trouble with Laguna in G1 of Monster High because sometimes I think she looked really good. Sometimes I think she looked really rough. I think that she had a style that was very hard for the designers to pin down. And also my biggest pet peeve, I've talked about this before, but my biggest pet peeve with Gen 1 and Gen 2 Laguna is that sometimes they made her hair so yellow that I feel like it clashed really badly with the rest of her color scheme. I do think her hair is like a tinge yellow for my taste in the Shriek-Wrecked doll, but I can forgive it because everything else is so, so amazing. Like, the shoes and the socks are so cute, and the fact that the socks match the shirt is just absolutely perfect. Most of all, it's these shorts. I'm so beyond obsessed with these shorts. They're so pretty. I feel like this is a very, very well-designed doll, so she's definitely a Laguna that I do like from Gen 1 and Gen 2, and definitely one I would like to add. And the next one is my all-time favorite Laguna from Gen 1. Those of you who have been here for a while already know who I'm about to say. Dawn of the Dance, Laguna. I literally won't stop talking about this doll until I have her. And I don't know how big the chances are that I'll ever get to own her, so I might never stop talking about her. I just think she's so cool. Like, the dress, the shoes, the bag, the insane hairstyle. It's literally all amazing. She is a perfect Laguna to me, and I crave her so badly. So she's kind of another long shot because I feel like a lot of people really like this Laguna, and she is one of the older Monster High releases, and I feel like the older they are, the harder it is to get them for a reasonable deal. At least in general, that's been like the kind of trend that I see with the secondhand market of Monster High. Maybe at some point the secondhand market will crash again and they'll be much more reasonably priced and I can finally get my grubby little hands on my Dawn of the Dance Laguna. I can't ever stop loving her. She's so pretty. Okay, only a couple left. This is the second Claudine on this list, and another one of my favorites, and this is why I was like, I don't know which one I would be more excited for. This is Scarily Ever After, the Little Dead Riding Wolf Claudine. She's so pretty. Like, she's just so well designed. I love her so much. The cheetah print on the inside of the cape really, like, takes it from being a little bit too basic to being very Claudine. This is a gorgeous doll. I know that these are a pretty sought after line. In general, the like Scarily Ever After line is fairly sought after. So I think that she's actually more expensive than the Ghouls Rule Claudine. She's just so beautiful though. I think the whole Scarily Ever After line was really great. I already have the Draculaura. I don't think that I would get the Frankie just because I really am not a huge fan of like Gen 1 and Gen 2 Frankie, but I do think that her Scarily Ever After doll was one of Frankie's better dolls, and I just love this Claudine too. I think that she's so beautiful, and I would love, in my dreams, someday collection, I would love to have her also. And then we have Caddy Noir from Fierce Rockers. I feel like, I've said this before, I feel like Fierce Rockers is kind of a line that I like more than I think most people like. I feel like the general consensus is that it's okay but not great. I think that it's pretty darn good, but by far I think that Caddy is the best doll from Fierce Rockers. This one-legged jumpsuit is so amazing, especially with like the belt that goes into kind of a leg harness. So cool. And the thing that sells it for me beyond anything else is this amazing shattered mirror makeup on her one eye. She's so pretty. This is such a pretty doll. I'm just speechless when I look at her. I feel like I don't know what to say. She's so beautiful, and I have to have her someday. And then we are going to round out the video on a doll that probably doesn't make sense, because, like, compared to some others, she's not as flashy or as exciting, but I love her, and that is the Ghouls Beast Pet Cleo doll. Yes, 90% of the reason why I love her is because of the cat that she comes with. Like, look at that little cat! They're so cute. I just love them so much. But I also do think that Cleo's shoes on this doll are really, really cool. And I also think her dress is nice. It's kind of simple, so it's not like the most amazing outfit that Cleo ever got to wear. But I do think that it's really, really pretty. I don't love the face. I think that Gen 2 Cleo's face, most of the time I'm not a huge fan of it. So I would probably repaint this doll if I ever did get her. But I would still want her for all of the other things, you know? Like, she is articulated, which not all of the G2 dolls were. I feel like her clothing and accessories are good, and she has a little cat, so like, how am I supposed to resist a little cat? Y'all know I am obsessed with cats. So even though this one is probably less understandable than a lot of my other Monster High entries on this list, I still really, really want her. I meant to say this while filming, and I just didn't. So hi, editing interjection here. But I did want to explain really quick, because I think that probably you guys who have been around here the longest, or also like just by looking at my shelves, you might be thinking that there's really not that many Monster High entries on this list when it is a brand that I dearly, dearly love. And the reason for that is that with G3 being a thing that is out now, I really do love the designs for most G3 dolls. Like, in general, I think that it's a great generation and I'm really enjoying it. And I find myself less inclined to want to buy secondhand Gen 1 dolls because of that. That's not to say that in every instance I think that G3 is better, but I do like a lot of things about G3 a lot. Like, I love the different body types, I like the faces, I like the overall designs a lot. And given how expensive secondhand Gen 1 Monster High dolls are, and also given the fact that they are older dolls now, so they tend to not be like in the best condition. Even if they are in box, the joints can still be loose and their heads are filled with glue. So I've just realized lately that I want to buy fewer Gen 1 dolls than I maybe would have expected, because there's few designs that I think are worth like the negative parts about it. I hope that makes sense, but I did just want to talk about it because like even 6 or 7 months ago, I would have had so many more G1 dolls to add to this list. And just as G3 has made more releases that I really like, I am kind of prioritizing them over getting the secondhand G1 dolls. So yeah, guys, that is going to be my non-Barbie doll wish list. Like I said, this is the like shorter of the two videos. I definitely have so many more Barbies to go over, so kind of prepare yourselves for that one. I think I'm either going to have it be like the next video or the one after. It won't be long before I like get to that video as well, so you guys won't have to wait too long if you're excited for the Barbies. But yeah, that is all my non-Barbie ones. Definitely, like I said, let me know what your doll wish list kind of consists of in the comments. I would love to hear which ones you pine after and which ones you constantly are searching eBay for. Because, like, surely you guys are doing that too. I can't be the only one. But yeah, it'd be really cool to hear which dolls you guys are looking for and also what your thoughts are on my wish list. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys!